Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
I'm finding you.
I am well, thank you. I'm well. It's a sunny, cold but sunny Saturday morning. I was in track of time. I see
Yep.
it's sunny where you are as well. That's beautiful.
I'm in the Dominican Republic.
Very nice, very nice. A little warmer than here. I'm in Toronto, Canada. We're having a cold snap, and it's sunny at least,
Ouch.
though. At least it's sunny. That's all I care about.
Ouch. It gets cold there in Canada. Have you guys been getting really bad chills at night?
Um, we had like a lot of warm weather. Like it was up last weekend. It was up to like we had 65 degrees last weekend, and this weekend we're
Mhm.
probably at 10 degrees. A lot colder, that's for sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I see everybody's getting on, but they're not turning their cameras on.
I know. What's with all the hiding?
I don't know. Come on. We're all better than this, guy. We're ready to show up and take advantage.
I
That's
happen to be
fun.
driving. That's why I'm not on camera.
All good. All good. Please
Okay, no
drive safely,
problem.
Kevin.
Be
Please drive
careful on the
safely.
road.
Please drive safely. That's sure. For sure.
Yeah, I might have to be on my phone and this camera doesn't work, so I'm so sorry, but I would be otherwise. So I'd rather you see my little deer picture. There you go.
Nice, nice.
I'm here. I'm fully here though. Thank you.
Your pet deer.
Actually, I took it right from my front yard, so it's my.
Very cool. I love it. I love it. What's up,
And
Dan?
I'm
How you
just
doing,
gonna
brother?
let you know ahead of time because I'm in the Dominican Republic. You know how electricity works out here. If I disappear, I will be bouncing back in.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Very cool.
Excited,
Very cool.
excited for this. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Patty. Hi, Ross.
Morning, everybody. Morning, morning. Good morning.
Let's see. Who do we have?
Anna joining us here.
And Dan is. He said he had a little problem earlier trying to find internet because the electricity's down.
Yeah, all the power's out. I know he was intermittently messaging me and I can't hear anything. Okay, cool. Dan can't hear anything. I will take over then. I will take over. No worries at all. No worries at all. And let me just check a couple people here.
Hi, Anna.
There we go. Unmute. I'm still getting used to Zoom. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good. Thank you very much for asking.
Well, I'll say hi to everybody as they pop on. Just to kill time while we're waiting to get started.
Right on. Waiting for a couple other people, waiting to get started, and waiting for. Oh, there's Isaac. There we go. Isaac just joined. Our other co-host. Welcome, brother.
Hi, Isaac.
Welcome, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing well, doing well. People popping in here.
Yay.
Welcome everyone and welcome folks. Feel free to put your camera on if you wish. You'll get, I promise you, actually, from a psychologist perspective, you get the most engagement and the most learning and out of this. So food for thought, not mandatory, highly recommended. Come play, have fun with us. Come hang out. Welcome, Jude. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you, brother. Okay. So I will just finishing my smoothie as we let people join here. Oh, good. Everyone's joining. Amber's coming on. Beautiful. We're only at 11:01 anyways. Why don't we pick a couple people to introduce themselves? In fact, why don't we do that? Why don't Isaac, you're our co-host. Why don't you introduce yourself? Some of the folks know me and I can introduce myself in a minute. Where I go. Why don't you introduce yourself? What do you do? Why are you here? What are you going to be talking about a little later on? Talk to us. Give you 45 seconds of that, if you'd be so kind, sir.
Sure, of course. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good Saturday, and I hope your day is going well. So like James said, my name's Isaac. I will be presenting something after James has, but I'll tell you a little bit about what I do right now. So I primarily work with coaches, but I also work with other small businesses. And what I do is I help build systems that help companies and small businesses and coaches grow their business seamlessly and without having to add all this extra work. So I primarily build systems that don't require you to, do work that, a virtual assistant would do, or that, requires you to write out repetitive emails, or that requires you to do that repetitive action work that you really don't need to be doing. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about how you can automate a lot of that and implement into your system, some of the questions you can ask yourself, how you can build a business and how you can build an online business without having to worry about all those extra, actions and, emails and texts that you can definitely automate. So that's what I'll be talking about.
Beautiful, beautiful. And yes, Isaac is a very, very smart, very bright man. And we've become business partners. I really love working with Isaac. Great dude, goes above and beyond, very creatively smart. So in about 40 minutes, you all are going to get a really kick-ass lesson from him, some learnings. We've done, just to give you a prelude, we've done some really cool things like talking about chatbots. It'll chat with your customers or potential customers, excuse me, on like Facebook, on Instagram. It'll talk to people. We've talked about different tools to get people to events as well. And I think Dan needs to adopt that tool too. It'll leave voicemails for people. You say one message into the phone and it'll shoot voicemail to like thousands of people if you want. It'll text thousands of people. Of course, it'll email thousands of people. But again, a lot of us have things like that, or you've heard of these systems that will email all your people. Well, this is even better. It'll text them, it'll call them, which has way, way higher open rates than emails. Not that that's all Isaac does. He can help with landing pages and web pages and all kinds of cool stuff and tying in technology. So I think you're going to have a fun talk, like I said, in about 40 minutes. Cool, cool, cool. So without further ado, I allow myself to introduce myself in the words of Austin Powers. So, because I know Dan is having problems with electricity today, and no worries. Today, I wanted to talk to you all about influence, being highly influential and authentically influential, and persuasive with integrity, which can make a big difference and is way different than some of the shysters out there, because we want to differentiate you amazing coaches, entrepreneurs, business folks from a lot of these people out there. Trust is at an all-time low, unfortunately, right now. So influence, correct and authentic influence, and being open, being vulnerable, showing people yourself, because that'll help them trust you, is needed like never before, right? To gain that trust and that rapport and that authority. So I'm going to talk today about some of those things. I'm curious, though. I'd love to have you all in the chat. If you want to drop in just maybe a quick word or two or a quick sentence, what are some of the challenges in your business? Like, what are the biggest challenges in your business in terms of like getting new clients or getting people to say yes? What's not working for you? Just drop it in the chat, because I want to. My goal is to customize this for all of you too, versus just the James show. And we can do that if you want, but I think it'd be more interesting if you drop some couple comments in the chat. What is one of the challenges right now you're having with either finding, acquiring, or converting clients, having people say yes, hell yes, Amber, I want to work with you. Hell yes, Anna, let's do this thing. Lumea, here's my credit card. Mitch, let's do this thing. Narda with the cool deer in her front yard. Let's go. Here's my money. How do we work together? Right. So feel free. Just drop a couple comments in the chat there. First person wins. On really where you're challenged. Otherwise, again, I'm going to share my persuasion playbook with you. But I'd love to see some comments in there from you and really what you're struggling with, so I can tailor this to you all. Got it. So Daniel says getting trust. Thanks, Daniel. Daniel says getting trust. Fair point. Absolutely. Absolutely. What else? What else? Welcome, Wendy. We're just getting people to drop in the chat problems, challenges they've had with getting people, getting business, growing their business, problems with clients, because I want to tailor today to yourself. So it's good to see you again, Wendy. Again, drop in the chat if you like. Anyone, Wendy, Cassandra, Sherlock, Nathan, Kevin, You're driving. You drive safely. Patty, Lumea, Marjorie as well. Marjorie and I are going to have a good chat at the beginning of the call. Amber as well. Jude, anything there? When, of course, Narda and Mitch. I think I've got everyone here. Finding the right client that wants what I do and will pay. Fair enough. Fair enough. There is, and that's twofold, right? Finding the right client that wants what we have, and someone who will pay, because they can be different. They can be mutually exclusive. That's for sure. Good to see you again, Wendy. Cool, cool, cool. Amber, love the red hair. I love it, love it. Nice and bright in our Canadian winter. Love it. Cool. Anyone else going once? Going twice? Cool. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share the Super Persuasion Playbook, and I'm going to give you all access to it. It's basically 7 keys to be highly persuasive and influential. 7 of my top recommendations of how to be highly persuasive, influential, how people know you, like you, trust you, and say yes to you. Because, excuse me, unless they're saying yes to you, we can't serve people. We can't live, have as much fun as we want. If I love serving people, if it's fun to me, and have the fulfillment, and of course have the life of our dreams, like working remotely, working all over the world, right? I mean, I was in Nicaragua working remotely for 2 weeks in November. I was down in Miami and on a cruise as well in January. It was amazing. Last April, I was working remotely in Honduras. Love Honduras, by the way. If you like outdoors and diving and snorkeling and stuff, incredible. So all that to say, we need people to say yes to you. We need to have people pay us as well, like Cassandra said. So without further ado, and I will, when we're done today, we'll drop this link in the chat as well. And maybe for people that ask really, really good questions, or even just people that ask good questions, I will also drop a longer version, the full persuasion playbook, about 14, a little longer, but 14 keys on being highly persuasive, authentically, be influential, persuasive, and just being real and raw with people. So anyway, just a little teaser for you here. Let me share my screen here. Okay, here it is. Okay, all right. So this is the Super Persuasion Playbook. Let me put all of you on this screen so I can see you better. Okay, there we go. There we go, perfect. All right, let me look over here from time to time to see you guys on this screen. So, okay, this is, and I'll give you all a copy of this today. I wanted to work through this today with you. It's called the Super Persuasion Playbook, and it's 7 of the fuller list, but the top 7 keys to be highly influential and having integrity and hearing yes more from people. Having people buy us, have people like us, trust us, and being that authority figure, right? So the first thing we need to do, of course, to have people say yes to us, want to do business with us, buy from us, is showing real expertise and, again, being an authority figure. So, okay, well, what does this mean? What does this mean, and how do we do it, right? So, and this also includes, by the way, being caring, authentic, being real and raw with people. This is something that's very, very important. And a lot of people, and including myself, I used to be guilty of this too. It was all about the money, the sale. I hope they buy because they got to pay my credit cards. I've been an entrepreneur for over 10 years, so I get it. It's like, I got to pay my credit card bills, got to pay my bills off. I want them to buy. It's been forever. And that will make people run. It'll make people run like hell, by the way. So food for thought, and just some things to think of. Versus making it all about service while having boundaries that, yes, your time is valuable, your time is important. You spent lots of time, money, energy developing yourself. So again, showing real expertise and being an authority figure. There's many ways to do that. How do we do that? Well, again, first of all, is being authentic, caring, being vulnerable. I'll get to this later too, really being vulnerable and open with people, right? Most of us, it's maybe our worst nightmare next to public speaking, to be real and raw and have people see us and our flaws and know us. Honestly, though, that is what will differentiate you from everyone else. That is what will have you. It's your story. It's your uniqueness. It's the shit in, pardon my expression, but the shit in your past that, you know, I've been here, I've been there. Example of me, I had problems with obesity. I had intense problems with intense bullying, which created depression, suicidal thoughts, high anxiety, putting on a lot of weight. a variety of health problems as well. I had different challenges learning in school too. And being, being open and vulnerable with people about that, and not really caring if people think I'm, wild or weird or wonderful. That is one of the secrets to being influential. And if you think about it, look at Oprah Winfrey, look at Elon Musk, look at Sir Richard Branson, Ariana Huffington. A lot of these people are, wild and weird and wacky, and we all revere them. Phil Knight that started Nike shoes. All these people are different, and they're raw and real. So it's interesting that a lot of us do our best to be the most vanilla version of ourselves. And I did this too when I was being bullied, so no one would pick on me. Lo and behold, they picked on me anyway. But being the most, vanilla person, so no one could say anything about me, and no one ended up liking me. It backfired. Being a nicey nice guy, too nice, trying to be too likable, and being a spineless jellyfish essentially, also got me bullied and made fun of. So I thought, well, I'm doing something wrong. I might as well do what I love. Say what is in my heart. Say what I want to people. Now this is not permission to be an ass, but saying what you want to people is going to be a big part of being successful, right? Having a message that cuts through all the crap and all the noise out there is going to be, and part of that is having your authentic story. Like Janet, how did you get here? Jude, why are you here? Why do you do what you do? Marjorie yourself, Wendy, why the heck do you do what you do, right? And showing people your why, because people care more about why you do it than what you do, and especially how you do it. People really don't care about our how. And just as an aside here, we're often selling too much our how. Like it's like, oh, I do Reiki or this special type of massage, or I do all this high-tech stuff and all this cool AI stuff. And people really don't care. They care about the outcome. They care about what's in it for them. So remember, when to hear more yeses, pitch or sell, air quotes, or communicate what you do will lead to their outcome, lead to what they want, versus telling them about all the features and bells and whistles. They don't care. I say, well, is the car going to reliably get me from A to Z? I don't really care that it has all these, electronic technological features and stuff. I just care that it's going to get me from A to Z. So is your car, metaphorically speaking, Patty and Kevin and Norda, is it going to get me from A to Z? Right? Is what they want. Sell them what they want. Give them what they need, and sell them what they really want. And that your thing, whatever that is, Amber and Colette, sell them that your thing. I love that Colette's getting exercise while we're working out. This, it's sell them their thing they want. Sell them the outcome, everyone, and make sure Sherlock and Kevin to sell them that actual tangible outcome in the end. Again, like if Isaac talks to people about all the technological stuff and all the bells and whistles and all the techie nuances and stuff, he would blow them away and lose them, right? But if Isaac sells how his technology, his systems will help people work smarter, work less hours, make more money, and convert more people in less time, easier and more fun, having more people to serve and thus more fulfillment, well, hell, he's probably got a sale right there. He's got someone's attention, that's for sure. So again, what do people want? Okay. So again, looking at being an authority figure, right? Well, again, having some sort of newsletter, having a soapbox out on the corner of the street and shouting a message, right? However you can contribute and give value is absolutely key here. Whether it's podcasting, video or audio stuff, YouTube, social media posting as well. Speaking, most people do social media posting wrong, by the way, and that's why they're not making money, usually because they don't have a call to action, or it's like, okay, now do this thing, versus, here's my great stuff. I am James, here's all this, and great, thanks, bye. There's no call to action. There's no next step. There's no, hey, if you like this, watch this video. If you like this one tip, you're going to love the rest. Watch the longer version here. Or, hey, book a call. Or if you like this, go to this link and download the Super Persuasion Playbook. And of course, at the end of the playbook, you of course will have, hey, if you like this, I help people do X, Y, Z. If that sounds interesting, why don't you book a call with me here? Right? So often there's not a continuation. And anything you do, whether it's speaking, teaching, coaching, webinars, live talks, a lead magnet, always have a next step, whatever that next, always have a next step, whatever that is. That's something that most people, including myself, make mistakes on. Whether you're speaking, my goodness, speaking, even if you're not a great speaker, if your heart is in the right place and you aim to give value and help people, oh my goodness, you will create such influence, such persuasion, such trust, especially because most people, I would say a lot of people hate being on video, and most people hate public speaking or just aren't comfortable with it. If you can get past the fear and the ego to speak, you will stand out amongst many people, which is a great part, the first thing. And the second thing is too, that again, they're hearing you speak or podcast, whatever it is, whether it's live, video, recorded in person, a webinar, they're hearing Marta's expertise. They're hearing Anna's expertise. They're hearing Dan and Daniel talk, and wow, they're getting a sense of you versus even an ebook. I mean, this I've woven my personality into the ebook a little bit, but really this is how you get to know my personality. Wow, James seems like he actually really cares and really gives a crap about people and success, and I do. I really genuinely care about people who want to help make a difference in the world. Yeah, the people, planet, plants, animals, environment, whoever it is, whatever it is, I really care about helping people make an impact. And a lot of you kick-ass entrepreneurs, you're up to some really cool things. So speaking is amazing. Even if you're not a great speaker, even if you're nervous, even if you're worried, even if you're fearful, please trust me. Speaking, just deliver value. You don't have to be a great speaker. Just aim to deliver value. Teach people something, and they will love you. Trust me. Let me see. We have a question here. Perfect. Cool. Google reviews are great. Get customers, even if you're doing freebies or trades, or hey, if someone asks for a discount, I love the give-get principle. Okay, we can talk about a discount. What would you exchange for? Like, for example, I could say, I'd be willing to give you a bit of a discount if you're willing to, give me a video testimonial or refer, 3 or 4 friends to me that buy. In fact, if they buy from me, I'll also give you some cash to say thank you as an appreciative, or a gift card or something, right? So things like Google reviews, authority badges like Trustpilot, or if you've won some awards, put that on your web pages. Brag about it. Brag. I had stuff on my web pages about me being on, like the Huffington Post and CBS and Insight TV shows, TV interviews. And a lot of people didn't know. A lot of people that knew me had no idea that I'd written a book, or I was a best-selling author, or had been on some of these TV shows and interviews and news stations. And it was interesting. And that lesson to me, and this was a recent lesson, by the way, was to just talk about yourself and what you do, not in a braggy way, but why you're excited and what you've achieved, and celebrate that, because others are going to want that too. They're going to want that. Like, okay, you know what? Marta, can you teach me how you got there? Colette, Jude, can you show me how you got there? I want you, Isaac and Janet and Anna, I want you to teach me how you got there, because clearly you're there and I want that too. So it shows this authentic success, without being a braggart, and that's okay. Be proud of what you've achieved. People want that. So anyways, speaking, a book, an ebook, a short guide like this one, I'm going to give this to you all at the end. The short ebook. There's a pretty PDF coming too. By the way, I just developed this. You're welcome to have this one. In the meantime, authority badges, book e-guide, customer success stories work incredibly well. Customer wins. You can have customer success stories as well. And you can do this even if you're just starting out by offering help people for free or a crazy discounted rate, which is great. I mean, even if you're only charging whatever, $50, $60, $70, $80, $100 an hour for what you do, if you have a corporate job, you may not be making $50, $60, $70, $80, $100 every single hour. So even if you give someone a sweetheart deal, hey, we can do this crazy deal, it's probably going to make you, ironically, more than you make in the corporate position per hour. So some food for thought on that too, especially when you're getting started. You can work with friends, you can work with family. Try to get some sort of exchange, if you will. It doesn't have to be money, but some sort of exchange. So they value things. Let's see, newsletters. And again, speaking engagements. I'm harping on the speaking engagement thing. It doesn't have to be for huge groups. It could be for 4 or 5 or 10 or 12. I'm paid to speak now, although honestly, some of the most money I've made has been speaking for free. I have many friends that also feel the same way. So avoid And sometimes they'll give you like, a $50, $100 or $500 honorarium to speak, depending on the event. But even if you're speaking for free, I've made a lot of money speaking for absolutely free, even when I pay for gas and parking and lunch and this and that, right? Now, usually I ask people to pay my gas and parking if they want me to speak for free, because it's incredible value. These are big things. Create content, I suppose, is the crux of the message here. Create content and get it out to people. Share it with the world versus doing what I did with my book and going back to the drawing board and tweaking it and adjusting and muddling it for 3 years before I finally said, F it. I'm writing my book, and I wrote it in 2.5 weeks in Thailand. Right, 2.5 weeks in Thailand versus 3 years of thinking about it, procrastinating, going back to the drawing board. Cool. Consistency as well here, being consistent in what you do versus once in a blue moon or once in a while. Consistency is key. When people see you and they see the consistency, what you do, it actually has people trust you because you're always in front of them. It's this frequency and familiarity. I think about it. Do you not trust people that you know well, you see a lot? Do you not trust them more than someone you see once in a while? Do you not like them more than someone you see once in a while? Probably. There's exceptions, obviously, but probably, right? So authority and expertise, really, it does require a delicate balance of demonstrations, real authentic communication. And that's why I love teaching people how to be highly effective communicators and how to reach all those different learning styles out there in the world. And so people can actually hear what you're saying and they see the value in your message. They like what you say so much they can even taste it, right? They can smell success by working with you. They get a concrete grasp and they feel like what you have is valuable and they really hear why they should work with you. So it's a delicate balance. Consistently sharing, insights, even if it's 15, 20, 30 seconds. The people's attention spans these days are even below goldfish. So even if you only have, 10 or 15 or 20 seconds, the most popular shorts now and TikToks are around the 20 to 35 second mark. So even if you have only a few words to say, hey guys, or hey everyone, good morning, it's James. My word of the day is passion. Find what you're passionate about, do what you're passionate about, etc., right? So even if and then that's it. That's my tool. Have a great day. It doesn't have to be these long, 10, 15, 20 hour long videos or podcasts. You only need a few. By the way, you only need a few long form videos. I enjoy creating long form and I enjoy creating podcasts, which are typically, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. I do enjoy them, but you only need a few. And what really is the key is to do short form stuff, short content, whether it's written or video, 20, 30, 60 seconds and 90 seconds. And then you will engage with that. Because if they don't know you, think about this. Would you watch a video from someone you didn't know if you were only so warm on the topic? Or would you go to someone, for example, that you saw and you've seen their shorts or the YouTubes or their posts or their book or their blog? Would you be more interested in what they have to say and spending more time watching maybe a 20, 30, 40-minute video, right? So there is another principle. I don't want to harp on this one too much because there's 6 more. I'm also going to say social influence is super important as well for everyone. Again, these are Google reviews. These are lineups. This is why, in clubs, nightclubs, they hold lines. Oh, wow, look at all the people in line in that club. It must be good. Or this is why Apple only makes, a certain amount of things, which we'll talk about next. Or they have lines to go in the Apple stores, right? Or they have all these things. Wow. All these people reviewing and raving about them. They pay lobbyists, they pay reviewers. You don't have to do that. Just create a social influence by getting out there and getting people talking about you. There's a saying I enjoy, and it's less important who you know. It's more important who knows you, right? And I do think it is also, again, the saying, who you know is more important than what you know. I would actually still say that resonates true, but it's also more important who knows you. Cool. All right. Now, by the way, for people, professional problems are just personal problems in disguise. So if you're helping people with professional problems, they're just really personal problems in disguise, right? So food for thought for all you coaches, mentors out there. Okay, limited availability and scarcity. I just mentioned Apple. Like Apple or Nike puts out a new shoe with a limited supply. That's what drives people so nuts. Everyone's like, oh my God, I got to get it. Or this, whatever this thing is only available for a week, or this pop-up shop, or this discount. Hurry. Supplies last. Hurry, this deal is only on to the end of the week. Hurry, you must buy now. All this stuff. It's limiting availability and scarcity will create influence, right? Whether it's limiting your time, limiting the amount of product, limiting the hours. Like the last thing you want to say to someone is, "Oh, you pick any time. My week is totally open." I mean, how successful do you appear, or how successful would someone appear if someone's like, "Oh, Chris or Isaac, pick whatever time you want next week. I'm open all week." It doesn't sound like you have any customers or anything better to do. So I'm like, do I want to work with you? Versus, hey, I got a crazy schedule next week. It's pretty much filled up, but I have Wednesday at 2 and Thursday at 4. And you know what? I could probably even do Monday at 6 p.m. if that works with you. Which one would you prefer? Let's block it in before it gets booked up. They're like, yeah, let's block it in before, because I don't want to lose that. So again, limited availability and scarcity, right? You don't want to do all things to all people. And scarcity of time, product, energy, this creates a catalyst for urgency. If it's the same price all year, are you going to rush in to buy something? Maybe if you need it urgently. Versus these organizations that have like all these high prices, but then they go on massive sales once a week. They have massive sales on different things. That brings people in a hurry as well, right? So it's that catalyst for urgency. Hey, my course starts in this date. I'm only taking 12 people in my next course, right? I only work with people who want to be highly successful, and I only work with people that are really, really, really wanting to help others, wanting to make a difference in the world. I only help these people, and I only help people who are really motivated to take action and grow. I'm giving you some of the frames I use, and it's not bullshit. It is genuine. I don't want to work with people who I have to drag in or drag around, or that really don't care about making a difference in the world. That's not what drives me, And Jenna has an interesting comment, and then I see that Marta has a hand raised. Jenna says, I sometimes question the idea of creating scarcity when we are coming from abundance as a state of being. And yes, I hear you, Janet. I think there's incredible and unlimited abundance in the world. To create action in people and urgency, we need the scarcity. Again, if there was a total abundance of money in the world, would anyone ever work? Or if there was a total abundance of, I'm trying to think, something it's I don't know, video game or cell phones, Microsoft or Apple phones in the world, would Apple have these big lineups days before these video games, and people line up for these video games? So I believe in abundance as well. I think there's insane amounts of abundance in the world, incredible amounts of abundance. And exactly, that Chris makes a good point. Rarity more than scarcity. It's that rarity. Things are rare. They're unique. They're rare, right? Gold, think about this. Gold is rare. That's why diamonds are rare. That's why people pay, I don't understand it myself because I'm a dude, but thousands of dollars for gold or diamonds or whatever, jewelry, versus sand or dirt, people probably don't pay as much for. So it's that rarity versus, it's everywhere. You give time to everyone. You have unlimited time versus no, I have time. I have lots of people. I'm a busy man. I have a busy business, and I prioritize my friends and my self-care too. So I only have limited time for people to work with me if they want to work with me. So again, it's something rare versus, I have all the time in the world. I'm not doing anything, because it's that perception. Well, that person probably isn't that successful. Whether it's true or not, it's that perception. And again, I happen to think that dirt is more valuable than gold. You might ask why. Well, we can grow food in dirt. I really don't care if I'm starving, but having a golden ring on my hand. So again, it's the perception, right? It's that perception. If dirt was scarce, remember the movie Waterworld? Sand and dirt, they would trade like gold because there wasn't any, it was all water. So sand and dirt was literally like that was what you paid with. It was like gold. Marta, you had a question, my friend.
Yes. Can you hear me with the headphones on?
Sure can.
Okay. I was just wondering about when I see other coaches or entrepreneurs, when they have high ticket items and then they lower the price drastically for promotions and discounts, I kind of get a little questiony personally, thinking, So was your program really worth the amount that you initially placed it at if now you're willing to drop it so low? Like to me, whenever I see that as a consumer, just someone researching, I see scarcity, like I see desperation. So I wonder what your take on that is.
And it's a great question. Thank you for the question. There is, and I'm a pretty raw and real kind of guy. I'm not far from perfect, but I do my best to be raw and real. And I do not like bullshit. And to your point, sometimes if you create it in an authentic way, I think it's valuable, it helps. But you're right, if it's in a BS way, like these companies, there's one here in Canada called Canadian Tire, and their prices are higher than everywhere else. The stuff's expensive. Although every week they have like insane like 40, 50, 60, 70% discount, maybe more on stuff against to get you in there. So that's a bit BS to me versus the real authentic. Hey, I'm only accepting 12, and that's the truth. I'm only accepting 12 people from the next training. It's creating scarcity, not in a BS way with, well, this course, you've seen this too, I'm sure all of you. This thing is like $15,000 regularly, but for today you can have it for $9.99. Right, that's kind of the bullshit. I saw Patty shaking her head. Exactly. There's a part of my language. There's a bullshit version. Again, I'm unreal, and not perfect. There's an authentic way to do it. It's like I'm only accepting 12 people to my next training because I want to give the best training possible. Again, creating a bit of scarcity. I only accept people who really want to make a difference in the world and who are jazzed and committed and will do anything legal, moral, ethical to get there and to have that and achieve their goals. So for me, that's a very authentic way to create a bit of rarity. Maybe we'll use rarity instead of scarcity. Versus, to your point, the bullshit. This is worth $15 million, but it's yours today for $9.99. It's in the way you do it. It's in the. I'll just leave it at that. It's in the way you do it. Because it comes across differently.
That's a beautiful answer. It's like the intention behind the message. So that was, I think, what I needed to understand was how can I differentiate? Because I want to make sure that if I'm promoting something, it's not because I'm like in that lack mindset where I was like, oh no, and then I would just be attracting the same types of people as opposed to this is really rare and so this is why, and it's like a special deal because it's my birthday, whatever.
Exactly.
So, thank you.
Right. Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Or to your point further, it's like, hey, regularly $3,000, and the early bird discount is $2,000 because you're getting something in exchange. You're filling the course early in exchange for them getting a discount, right? So it's an authentic thing. It's like, hey, I want to fill the course. I want people in. I want people. I'm going to reward people who are movers and shakers by giving you $1,000 off for the first, again, rarity, first 5 people versus everyone that joins before June. Well, maybe the first 5 people that join, or the first 5 people join before June, or if you join before Friday, you're getting this massive discount. But there's a reason. It's not BS. There's an actual reason for that. There's an authentic reason. So these are great questions. Absolutely. Thank you, Marta. And Cassandra, you had a question too.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. I work in the space of technology. I do tech training, and I agree with what Marta said about discounting your services and stuff like that, especially when it comes to technology. And you start discounting it, and people don't really seem to have a trust, in what you're doing, especially with technology. The information has to be relevant. It has to be cutting edge. It has to be state of the art. So I guess what my question is, I'm trying to get in the space of people that will be committed to the program. I have started my own IT workforce initiative. I started out with 18 people, and
Nice.
all of them were so gung-ho about it. Oh yes, I want to do this. But I kind of find that people are in love with possibilities and not with reality. And so they like the possibilities of, getting into technology and making this amount of money. But when it comes to putting in the sweat and the hard tears and things, to get that work done, because you got to put the work in no matter what. If it's law, if it's medicine, if it's tech, you got to put the work in. It's not going to happen overnight. So my question is, how can I begin to hone in on those key people that are going to be committed to the program, that's going to put everything that they have in the program and see the program through? Because you can't be successful if you half-ass do the stuff.
Right on.
You know what I'm saying?
on.
So how do I do that?
Very cool. Very cool. First of all, so answer part A is energetically, it's to just make sure everything in your life you do 100% and whole ass as well instead of half ass, because our prospects and clients, everyone in fact in our lives is a reflection of us. Some of you may agree and disagree with me, but everyone, yeah, if my clients are doing something that drove me nuts, I'm like, what the hell is with people? I'm like, oh wait, where am I, not committing? Where am I bailing? Where am I? So food for thought, answer A. From more of an energetics perspective, because we have the power to change others by just changing ourselves, right? We can't control others. We have the power to change if we change, because we attract different people, which is really cool that we have literally the power to do that. And yeah, Marta's like, doesn't that suck? So the other answer for you, part B, and then I have a part C, is to where are you finding the people? So maybe looking in the wrong places, right? That's like that. What is that saying? Looking for love in all the wrong places. Sometimes we're looking in the wrong places or talking to the wrong people and making sure, well, who would I love to work with? What is my ideal client? And where do they hang out? Do they hang out on Facebook? Do they hang out, or maybe not, do they hang out on LinkedIn? Do they hang out in bars? Do they hang out in charities? A lot of people with a lot of money like to give back. And that's one thing I love to do. I love to give back too. And just, want to meet people with money and movers and shakers. People are up to something. Again, people that some kind of volunteer charities, people that are on the boards or just even donating or volunteering. Not that that's the only ways you should volunteer or donate. You can meet some kick-ass people. They're up to some kick-ass things as well. Charities, donations, people on boards of different things, up to cool social change. So things like that. Look for people who volunteer, who are advocating for things, who are on boards or part of some sort of charity nonprofit. You can meet some really cool people that are clearly committed to things, right? Because they're doing it for free. Answer C, new share and whiteboard. Check this out, everyone. So, okay. All right. And Zoom has updated their whiteboard, and this is interesting. Let's see if I can figure out how to use this. I'm like, okay. Bear with me a second, because this is a completely new whiteboard. I'm trying to draw something for you, and this may be hit board. How do I draw? How do I draw? Anyone? This is completely okay. Bear with me here. Zoom literally just this is interesting. Very interesting. How do I draw? Isn't that the point of a whiteboard, to draw? Okay. Looks like we can all draw in here.
Tap in the 3 lines and see if the pencil's there, because it should be a pencil. And
You're
then on the
right.
left side.
You're right, but there is no
It's the
export.
plus sign. It's the plus sign in the bottom.
Oh,
There
that
you go.
is,
It's
that's
it's
zoom
the
in.
plus.
Isn't that zoom in? Zoom out?
No, this plus. It says, well, I'm on my phone, but it has a plus sign in the bottom left corner.
Do you
Oh,
want us
And
to
you-
have access to the whiteboard too?
And this, I didn't think this is bananas. This is here, let me.
I don't
Yeah,
think you
this.
want
so
that for
if you
us.
I don't know
push
what is
that-
going on here. This is
See the
bananas.
Can
Yeah,
you
it
see the
says
plus
pen.
sign?
Here we go.
It
Use
says
whiteboard
pen.
plastic. Here we
Yeah.
go. Okay, back to the good old days.
Okay.
Okay.
You
So
got
there
this.
we
You
go.
got.
There we go. I don't know what was the new whiteboard. I'm not a fan. Bad Zoom. Bad Zoom. All right. So we got person here. And so this we got like their big goal. Their big, I don't know, draw a heart. Their big goal, right? The awesome stuff they want. Maybe it's money, it's dollar sign. That's an awesome dollar sign. Okay. And then we have the, all the junk, like the stuff that's on fire. That's a fire. All right. And so we have the stuff, the towards stuff, right? We have the big T, the towards that they want. Oh my God, that clearly I need something other than a mouse to draw with. Okay, so this is towards all the vision, the dreams. Oh, that sounds so good, guys. That sounds so good, James. Sounds so good, Chantel. So good, Kevin. This is great. Like this is the towards stuff, like takes them towards their dreams. And this is only half the battle. And that's why often people don't commit. I mean, sometimes they're just not going to commit and not that type of person. They'll hope and dream and wish and want and complain and whine and bitch and never do anything. And there's a lot of people out there like that. Now, for those people who would commit, could commit, there's a secret here. We need both a toward motivation and we need an away from motivation. They want to get the heck away from the fire, the dumpster fire that's going on. Right? They want to get away from that. And again, that's only half the battle. You want to get away. And they're halfway there. But we need the other magnet, right? It's almost like, put two magnets together. One they repel the other. We need one magnet to repel them, like, and to have them really realizing how crap life is or is going to get if they don't move and don't shift and don't buy from you. And yes, we can't doomsday everything. We need the vision of how amazing life's going to be. The travel, like doing like working from the beach, and you have all the waves and stuff, all the things you need. Otherwise, it's half the equation if you only do one of these. So you need to actually have this conversation with people about, well, how much does it suck now? How much worse will it get? And people often try to weasel out from these conversations, avoid letting them. If you want to sell, you need to be uncomfortable too. You need to be uncomfortable. They need to be uncomfortable. Versus just talking, oh, life's so great. Talk about the sunshine, hearts, and rainbows. It's going to be like amazing. Let's talk all about the toward, how amazing it's going to be after you work with me. Guess what? You're only halfway there. And that's why a lot of people say no and they won't commit, unless they're a person that just doesn't commit, right? We really need to also talk about the way. This one, I said, how much worse is this going to get? How much more money is this going to cost you? And his lame answer was, well, I haven't really put pen to paper to that yet. And he just stopped me. And e.g., I'm not going to tell you anymore. I'm like, well, let's do that. Let's put pen to paper today. Maybe it's the first time you've done it. Let's get some clarity for you there. Would it be helpful? Again, asking questions versus you should. Questions are the answer. Would it be helpful if we figured out really where you are now and then where you want to go as well, and figuring out the gaps to get you there so you know how to get there, you know that you have the clarity to get there. Let's look at where you are now, where you are. Sound good? Yes. Cool. All right. So going back to this, how much is it costing you in time? There's time, money, energy, and fulfillment. And I would get all three. How much is it costing you in time to, I don't know, be sick all the time, be overweight all the time, I used to be exhausted all the time, be exhausted all the time, or broke all the time, or not have this and that. Maybe they have lots of money, but their life sucks, right? Time, money, energy, fulfillment. And again, you need specifics versus, it's priceless. Wendy, it's priceless. No, that's they're not going to buy on priceless, right? It's priceless. They're not going to buy, Janelle, on priceless. Well, what is this costing you every month? Oh my God, it's costing you 1,000 or 10,000 every month, right? Why would you wait another month? And this is where they don't tell you, well, it sounds good, Martha and Kevin and Isaac, but I got to wait. Wait till the cows come home, or till the moon is pink, or the sun is green. I got to wait till my kids are grown up, or till I have all the money in the world, or I've completely done school, or I don't have any kids anymore, or till I get married, or I wait till the summer because I'll have more money. What's going to change between now and the summer and you'll have more money? Is it something like, if you have an imminently a raise, or you're going to leave and get a new job? Like why would you have more money then, right? So otherwise because a lot of people don't like making decisions, and decisions are uncomfortable. Committing things are uncomfortable, right? So we need that towards, but also the away. So important. And I hope that answers the questions to make sure we focus on the towards and the away. How bad does it suck? And what is where you went now? And then what is the cost of opportunity? E.g., how much more time is it going to cost you? How much, if you're, I had one patient, his doctor's like, you're going to die. You're so obese and you eat like crap, you're going to die. And so we had to talk to that to motivate this guy because health wasn't a really big concern to him. Making money was. Health was at the last of his important list. So how much is it costing you in time? If you die versus living another 5, 10, 20 years, spend more time with your kids and your wife. He's like, holy crap, I never thought of it that way. Money. How much money is this going to cost? Get a specific number. Like get a number. Get an actual number. Right? Versus, oh, it's priceless. It's priceless, Patty. Janelle, it's priceless. Too abstract. They're not going to buy. Oh, it's priceless. Great. Well, if it's priceless, hey, my course is only $6,000, $7,000, $10,000, $1,000. Sounds like that's way better than, well, not, well, that's a lot of money compared to priceless because it's just too abstract versus, oh my God, it's costing you $2,000 a month in I don't know, therapy or whatever. You know, not knocking therapy, but it's costing you $2,000 a month in alcohol or in drugs or gambling or something or whatever your addictions, right? It's called, wow, well, working with me is only, you know, $2,000 once or $5,000 once. It's going to cost you $12K if we don't start now. It's going to cost you $12,000 every year. What sounds better, paying me $2K now and having the kick-ass life, or not having a kick-ass life and saving $2,000 now, but also spending $12,000, right? Time, money, energy. Maybe it's energy. They're burning themselves out. They're killing themselves out, or fulfillment. Maybe they have money, maybe they have energy, but it's the fulfillment. Their life sucks. They hate their life, right? So hope that ties it in for your technology clients. It's you know, what is he away from? What do you want to get the hell away from? And what's it costing you? What is that? What is the cost of opportunity? Right? Like, what is the cost of opportunity? What is the cost if you don't do this? Like, if you, otherwise people will give you answers like, well, this sounds great, Lamea. Sana, this is amazing. Stay hungry. This is awesome. You know, Krish, Ben, this is awesome. But I gotta wait, Daniel. I gotta wait, Candace. You know, Janelle, Patty, let's talk again. Let's talk again in 3 months so I can brush you off then too. Right? I know we're getting in a bit of a sales conversation and sales stuff here, but it's true. It's true, and it's totally the case. So food for thought. I know we got to do a bit of sales stuff, but this is important. They need the toward and the way motivation to make a decision. That'll have people way more committed because they realize how ugly the monster is versus, yeah, well, life's not that bad. Life's okay. My life's all right. When really they're very dissociated. You need to get them into that, which makes them uncomfortable and it makes you uncomfortable too. But you got to do that. If you want to serve people, you want to help people, you got to get them looking at that shit, pardon my language. I'm just being real here. You got to look at that stuff in order to have them make a decision. Otherwise, well, you know, it's not that bad. You know, Wendy, I don't know if I want to spend $2K or $500, or Anna, I don't know if I want to spend $6K on this. You know, life's not that bad. Well, actually, it actually very well may be. It very well may be that bad, or very well may be costing them, you know, $20K a year. Right? This lady's like, oh, that's expensive. That's so expensive, James. I'm like, well, compared to piano, sometimes I get snarky and silly. I said, compared to piano lessons, it is. But I said, she started laughing. And I said, but you told me you had to, because your challenges, you had to take a job that was $20,000 less. You're losing $20,000 every year. Would that be fair to say? And she's like, actually, you're right. I'm not getting a new job because of this. It was a communication challenge, very easy to fix. She's like, yeah, and probably more. She's like, I could even get a better job than I had before, and it would pay me even more than $20K a year. So I said, cool. So you'd be happier, more fulfilled, be doing a job so that's the energy. You'd be doing a job you actually enjoy, because this job was killing her, paying her 20, 30, 40K less. And you're going to save 20K or more. You're going to make 20K more each year, or maybe some people save 20K. You're going to make 20K more versus it's 5 or 6 grand with me one time. Does this make sense? She says, yep. She says, yep. Here's my credit card number before I get scared. Right. So some food for thought, everyone. Food for thought. And hope that answers the question. Let me go back to sharing again here. All right. So I'm going to zip through these.
Really quick, James, just a quick, when we talk about towards and away, when we're doing like, you know, self-improvement or like actually helping them out away from something, isn't that like how do we make it so? Because sometimes when we're trying to help them go away from something, they even attract it even closer. They want to like even pull it even closer, right? Like they get even more involved with it because it's in their comfort zone. Let's say they want to get out of the comfort zone, but it's so easy for them because they have that repetition of bad behavior,
Correct.
right? So how do we pull them away from something when actually like focusing on that will make them even get towards it?
Good question. Good
Yes.
question. It's a great clarity point. So for the future, yes, you want to have them avoid focusing all the junk, but just for a moment, have them be really present for the junk and realize, yeah, how badly it does suck versus, oh, life's okay. You know, I just drink a lot or do drugs or gamble or whatever, sex, drugs, rock and roll, all the fun vices, right? You want them just even for a moment, just for a minute or so, to really get into that stuff and say, hey, is it worth it? Are you committed to getting out of this and having this awesome stuff? Or are you not? Would you rather sit in the junk? I can't make you do anything. So yes, have him put him there for a minute or three and be bold enough and courageous enough and be willing to be uncomfortable, because it is uncomfortable, to get them there. And great, let's now get your mind off of that. And yes, have them focus on the future, right? Have them focus on what they want. So because you get and you feel what you focus on. So have them, yes, focus on for the future and working with them, focus on what they want, keep their eye on the prize. It's just that catalyst, if you will, and the booster. It's like the rocket booster to get off the ground. Let's just for a moment, let's just look at what this really is and the reality of how bad this really is and how much more it's going to suck if it continues. Like, what is the cost of opportunity? How much more are you going to spend? How much money are you going to waste? How much are you going to spend on cigarettes and killing your health, or not having the technology to manage your clients, or for not managing audit, or not meeting government mandates, which means you could get sued and fined the government. What is the cost of opportunity? You think, oh, it's really not a big deal, I'm not that interested in. Well, could it cost you 100K in government fines or 10K in fines? Well, that makes paying me $2,000 or $5,000 a lot more interesting, doesn't it? And then, yes, turning them forward and focusing on the goals, focusing on what they want. You need both. You need both. Think of it this way: someone loses weight, or they want to lose weight, and let's say they're looking in the mirror, and I did this. I'm like, oh my God, I was clinical obese. I'm like, holy crap, I'm fat. I look like shit. And I'm like, oh God. And that is such a strong away from that. I was eating well, exercising. I was doing a lot to lose weight. But then you move further and further away from that old fat. I move further away from that old fat me. And it's like, well, I've lost 20 pounds. I'm like, I deserve to have whatever I want at this wedding this weekend. I deserve to have all the cakes and the drinks and all the fun stuff at the wedding. And then I do, and then it's a crash, a slippery slope. You go back, eat junk eating, and then you go back closer and closer and closer to that old of obese me, for example. And then, oh my God, this sucks. So and this is why people gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. Because we get farther and farther away from that me, or that fat self, and this is a metaphor for anything. I'm using weight right now. And it's less motivating. So then we slink back until we're there. Then, oh my God, I'm fat, or I feel crappy, or I look like crap. And then it motivates us away. So the key is we have to turn people around and have them looking at the goal, the hot me, the beautiful me, the sexy me, the me that's confident and attracts beautiful people, has a beautiful mate in my life, or that has people comment on how great I look, or I feel amazing, I have energy, I don't have to like struggle to get up and stand up. I can get up on my own and I have energy, I'm bouncing around. It's that kind of thing. You're absolutely right. We focus on. So have them just aware that stuff is there and that's really bad, and it'll get worse if they don't move their ass. But then all the amazing things. And this is a metaphor for people that if you're health coaches, technology coaches, consultants, all of it. Focus on what they want, but also, yes, have them be aware that otherwise, if, well, no, life's okay. No, life's pretty good. But tell me about your program. Are they going to buy? Probably not. If life's, oh yeah, nah, it's a lot of money. Maybe later, or maybe keep in touch, or keep you in your newsletter. All right. Running out of time, so I am going to do this. I'm just going to breathe through these. I can present on these next time. In fact, I'll talk to these, and you're welcome to all have this. But then I can expand and talk to these. I'll certainly share this with everyone. Sense of community is amazing to have as well. It's these connections will transcend boundaries. And communities will also build you trust and rapport. So maybe have a Facebook group or LinkedIn group where you nurture people, invite them in for free, sell them on it. And this is great because, and then really talk about it and why it's so great. Next one is trust, creating powerful, powerful trust, right? People need to trust you to buy from you. There's 4 pillars of trust. Usually they need to trust you and your organization. Now, for a lot of you, that is the same thing. They need to trust your service, that it will work for them. And most importantly, where most people get it wrong, most entrepreneurs or business people fail at this and they say no, they need to trust that they can do it. That's why we get excuses and no's. This sounds great. It sounds like it works great. It works for everyone else. I like Anna. I like Narda, like Cassandra, like Jude. It sounds great, but I don't think it probably won't work for me because I'm this or I'm that. We need to address this. It's so important. So important. They need to trust that they can do it. So you and your organization, which is kind of the same, they need to trust you, right? So using these tools I'm teaching you, create trust and rapport. And we need to talk about people who have the self-doubt and doubt themselves so much that they don't think they can do it. They don't think it's possible. That's often why people say no. That's why it's like, wow, this is so weird. We had such a good conversation. They were so interested in it. They seem so committed. It's because they don't think they can do it. Whatever the it is. Okay? Something to be very aware of. Very aware of. This is why often you get no's. Herd mentality, again, social influence. We talked about Google reviews, Facebook reviews. They're priceless. So if someone wants a discount, sure. As long as you agree in writing on the contract, because that way they can't say, well, no, I'm not that comfortable leaving a Google review, or no, I'm not that comfortable on video, or wah, 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 wah. Get it in writing, because that's their payment of the whatever, the $200, $500 or $50 discount. That's their payment, right? Instead, it's giving free money away. Comment on your stuff, like your page, like your, I don't love Yelp, but like Yelp, Google reviews. I'll give you video testimonials, send people your way. Sure, if people want a discount, here's a smart thing, everyone. If people want a discount, I'm happy to do that. Happy to do that. Why don't we do this? We'll do an exchange. If you agree to refer, whatever, pick 2, 3, 4 people to me within, I don't know, 4 months. Yeah, if you agree to that and in writing, then I'll give you a X% discount. And so there's teeth. If that doesn't happen, then I'll bill you the rest in 4 months. But this is a great opportunity for you to get a discount. So you can do that. I love that one. You can give because it can help you, help them. Again, social media comments, even having the posts on social media, even if they're good, bad, or otherwise, it can create social influence, right? It's that validation of the people liking your posts. I don't love vanity metrics like number of followers, but they can impress certain people, right? They can impress certain people. On my LinkedIn account, I have almost 20,000 followers on one account alone. I have 2 accounts. I have almost 20,000 followers on LinkedIn. On Instagram, I have 100. So, because my Instagram got hacked and I had to reboot it and start a new one. So vanity metrics aren't always a great way, and don't necessarily mean you're great just because you have a lot of followers. Some of them are bots, but again, food for thought, right? Herd mentality, community, creating a community, going back to that Facebook group, or LinkedIn group, everyone, or whatever group. We can. Isaac will teach you on how to use a system that he has called Go High Level, which has a community, has a pretty kick-ass community, actually. Communities, giving value, serving people, being in front of people, because on social media, people will see typically 5 or 10% of your stuff. Or instead, differently, 5 or 10 of, your followers will see 5 or 10% of your stuff, right? Anything else I want to talk to you guys about? Authenticity. I beat that to death at first today. Being real, raw, authentic. Share your story. People buy you. They don't buy your thing. They buy you, and they buy why you do it. Well, this is why I do this, because I got kicked in the butt from life here. I learned how to get past that. You're getting kicked in the butt too. Well, guess what? I got past that. I literally know how to get you there, and I know what it's like. It's instant influence. It's genuine, real, raw influence, authenticity, being real, and avoiding what people think about you. You don't have to open the kimono and show them every last, wound and wart on you. But again, give them a open, vulnerable place. Vulnerability is power. Yes, some people will abuse it. Screw them. Who cares? They're not your people. They're not your tribe. If someone doesn't like the real you, they're not your tribe. That's okay. You know how many people there are in the world? About 8.5 billion. If only 1% of them, if let's say everyone hates you, only 1% of the world likes you, that's 75 million people. 75 million people. I think I did the math right there. Even if it's 7.5 million. Can you serve all those people in your lifetime? Hopefully, maybe, probably. Be real. If people don't like you, cool. That means you have a message. It means you're shouting a message versus hiding in a cave with your eyes and ears closed, right? Have a message, be authentic, be real, and stop worrying what people think about you. When I do a post, if I'm like, oh crap, are some people going to chirp me on this, or some people not going to like this post because I'm real, authentic, I'm calling bullshit on things or limiting beliefs or traditional thoughts or what people typically think, am I saying no, that's wrong, this is why it's wrong, this is what's going to make you successful? Are people going to get mad at that? Am I going to ruffle some feathers? That's the sign that I need to do it. That's the sign that I must do it, because the message needs to be out there and it is going to resonate with people. And sure, people will chirp me on it. That's okay. I love it. It means I have a strong message and it's getting out there. When in doubt, ask questions of people. Instead of you should, stop telling, start asking, start engaging. 2 ears and one mouth, especially with sales. Ask questions, lead and influence others through questions, great questions, and genuine curiosity versus, I hope they shut up and buy my thing, right? Genuine curiosity. Talk about your journey. And my journey from bullying and beat up and head through glass windows and all kinds of crazy with health. Then came health issues. Then came the depression and anxiety, right? And then came challenges in school, and then all that crap I carried with me into my corporate career at first when I started working at IBM and some of the corporate environments. Carried that through, then realized how to get rid of it all with the tools I teach and everything I do. And again, if you're interested in this, please, I'd love to talk afterwards. I'm going to drop this in the chat momentarily, the link to this document. If this sounds like you, love teaching, love mentoring people. My programs are literally some of the best in the world if you want to be wildly successful as a mentor, leader, entrepreneur, coach. I love doing this. Love teaching people. As you can see, my genuineness and my love, my passion for helping people is usually pretty evident. And so stop telling, start engaging, start asking. You noticed I all asked you questions at the beginning of the chat. What do you want? What are you worried about? What's working? What's not working? I want to know, I want to make it for you versus just the James show, just to hear myself talk. That's why I ask questions at the beginning. What do you guys want? What are you interested in? What do you want to hear about? What are you stressed over? When in doubt, shut up, especially when you ask for the sale. That'll be $5,000. What credit card would you like that on? Then shut up. Avoid talking yourself out of a sale, right? Lastly, then that is it. There you go. I think that is questions. Again, questions. Questions are the answer. When someone asks you a question, ask them a question back. Well, James, what's the best way to, where do I meet my customers? Well, where do you want to meet? What kind of customers do you want to see? Where do you enjoy going? What do you enjoy doing? What type of stuff do you enjoy that it's natural for you to go? Who do you want to work with? Where do you think they hang out? Where would they hang out? If they're, and a hint, guys, hint, your best customer, your best avatar is the past version of you. So where did you hang out? Where are you? Where are you found? Is it social media? Is it the gym? Is it the bar? Is it the golf course? Is it on webinars? Is it on personal development events? Go to where your people are. That's it for me. I can happy to get in this next time, and I'm going to drop this link for you. It's a public link in the chat as well, everyone. There you are. You can download this draft. This is the draft. You have access to the pre-draft as well, everyone. It's there in the chat. The Persuasion Playbook. Cool. Enjoy. I'm going to switch to Isaac here. I may keep you a few minutes late today because I don't want to shorten Isaac's talk. But without further ado, I wanted to introduce Isaac once again really quickly. I'll stop share here. So Isaac is a friend of mine and business partner, very bright man, very kind person, very smart, goes above and beyond, great at helping you leverage technology to save you time, make you more money, do some really cool things. Like I said, invite people to events or calls or coaching sessions or freebies by leaving a voicemail. It'll send people 1,000 or 10 voicemails. You have to record it only once. You give them a text message. It'll send 10 or 1,000 or 10,000 text messages to people, which is way more answered, by the way, than emails. Email's good too, but way more open rates in text and voicemails than emails, right? It'll do that by email too, of course. But all these cool things, whether it's landing pages, whether it's ads to your landing pages, he will help you set up a sustainable, because you're not going around and driving nuts like a crazy person, a sustainable and efficient business system, business structure, technology structure. So you're not driving yourself nuts and losing money and leaving money on the table. So if you want to make more money, have more fun, have more free time, and help more people, thus feel more fulfilled, well, here is Isaac Nichols, a good friend of mine. He's going to talk to you about basically how to get more leads through technology. Anyone want more money, more customers, more business? You've come to the right place. Isaac, over to you, brother.
Thank you for that introduction. I'm flattered by the way you introduced me there. That's awesome.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
brother.
so let me start by sharing my screen. Let me know if you can see that there.
Yep, all good.
Okay, so before I actually hop in, I would love to know more about you, and I'm actually going to take a note from James's book here and ask you a question. So I just want to start off by seeing kind of who we have on the call here, and I just want to know basically if we have people who are completely new and haven't made a sale yet, or people who have started up and are starting to make some sort of sales. So if you would put a 0 in the chat if you have not yet made a sale and you've just started up, and a 1 in the chat if you have actually made a sale. I'm glad to see that James has made a sale. Yeah. Okay, so a couple of 0s, 1, okay, a few more 0s, which is great because these are the people that I actually am targeting, people who maybe haven't yet made any sales and they're starting up their business, and people who are making a few sales. The next question I wanted to ask, and I'll probably have a little bit more resistance on this one, is if you could let me know in the chat something that you've had trouble with technology while starting up your business, or even if you want to come on and just let me know, unmute yourself and talk to me. I want to make this more interactive, but with technology, with starting up, whether it's with your website, with integrating things, with calendars, when any of that, have you had any difficulties, or what's been like the most stressful, overwhelming that you didn't really realize when you first maybe got certified as a coach, or when you started your small business? Was there anything that was kind of, overwhelming on the technology side?
Yeah, yes, I can admit to that. I'm overwhelmed with trying to do the website, trying to keep up on the media, the what is it, Facebook and Instagram. Then you have to keep up with all the stuff that's going on, and so you can remember who's doing what, and it's just so overwhelming for one person.
Yeah, for sure. So doing a lot of the posting to all these different social medias, you have to post once to Facebook, once to Instagram, once to LinkedIn, once to maybe your TikTok.
Things like LinkedIn gets left out because I can't do it all. I can't keep it.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I'll touch on that later because that's a great example.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just looking in the chat here. And then James said, I guess when you start bringing in more leads, how do you effectively channel them? How do you, efficiently respond to people? And it's good that James went first because he brought up a couple of things that I think really overlap with what I'll be talking about. And one of them that he said was being authentic and being consistent, and also providing trust. And what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to bring people to you, and grow, but still be able to maintain that personalization to each person so they can trust you, so you can be authentic, but you can also be consistent and you're not letting people fall through the cracks. So that's basically what I want to talk a little bit about today. As you can see, I work with coaches and small businesses to design the digital backbone to their business. So essentially, I build systems that help you stop doing all the nitty-gritty, virtual assistant work and admin work for your own business, so you can actually accelerate your growth and focus on the fulfillment and content creation. So thank you for answering some of those questions. So yeah, like I said, how to build a 6 to 7 figure business. And ignore the number. The point is that you can build a business that you can grow to without having to worry about your time exponentially growing with your business growth. So as I said, and spend less time doing it. And then also touching on what James said, less money, less energy, and more fulfillment because you're actually working on the stuff that you want to work on. So I'll be talking a little bit how you optimize your CRM, your client relationship management, automate those repetitive actions that I see so many new coaches doing themselves, and then also design a system that allows you to seamlessly grow. And then at the end, I'll show you a little bonus, which James touched on a little bit. And I'm glad he brought up Google reviews, because we'll be talking about how you can even use AI in a very simple way. It's not overwhelming, but how you can implement it to actually, get people to review you on Google without you even having to ask them. It just does it automatically. And why do we do all this? Is because we want to go from a place where we are super busy and overwhelmed with all those different things. That's why I asked you, like, are you overwhelmed with all this technology, and how you can get to a place where you can sit back and enjoy your business and enjoy the growth, and, not have to worry about all the admin work, all the, setting appointments up, writing emails, because no one wants to do that. They want to do the fun part. Like, especially if you sign up to be a coach, you want to do the coaching, because that's what your passion is all about. So before I actually touch on, some of these things that we can start implementing, I wanted to show you what I see as one of the biggest problems when people first start their small business or get certified as a coach. And it's always in this order, and it's from what I've seen, it's the same thing. And I would love to try and help people get over this hurdle and not do it the wrong way, and do it the right way as early as possible. Even if you've gone a little bit into it, you can definitely come back and start again. But I would say it's very important, if you want to grow your business and grow it to a place where, it is sustainable, and, it brings you in the money that you want, the freedom that you want, you have to build the base properly. So this is the path that most traveled from small businesses and coaches, is they say, okay, I need a website. So you get a website, and WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, whatever it is, and you have your website, because someone says if you want a small business, you need a website. The next thing people tend to do is say, okay, now I need a calendar to, because I need to be able to take calls. So I'm going to integrate my calendar, whether it's Calendly, Seed, or whatever, Calendly link, and I'm going to put it into my website. So now you've got two things. It's not too bad to handle, but you've got those two things going on. When you start building up some leads, or you start communicating with people, you're like, okay, well, now I need to be able to send out emails to mass people, or automate emails. So then you get something like an email marketing tool, which is going to be like your MailChimp or Instantly AI or anything like that. So now you've got three of these things on the go, and you've put them all together, but they have to start talking to each other. You have to be able to set them up together, and you keep growing. And then I'm glad this was brought up, but the social media part, you want to keep up posting on social media, whether it's a couple times a week, every day, and you want to be posting on that social media. But you realize as you start growing that you can't do that while you're also fulfilling, or while you're trying to build content, and it becomes so overwhelming. So then the fourth thing is, people tend to buy virtual assistants to do their social media marketing or post, or they spend money on these, softwares that will post automatically for you. And then you continue building, and then you want to start building courses and course content, or freebies that you can add to, pricing or things like that. And then people buy courses, softwares to build their courses on. And then you got things like Thinkific, Kajabi, HubSpot. Now, the problem with doing it this way is you have 5 different softwares, and this is just the base, by the way. You also have like invoicing, pipeline stuff, all that, but you have 5 softwares that have to talk to each other. They have to communicate with each other. They have to be linked together, and they all have monthly fees associated with them. So what started with a $30 to $40 a month website fee has built up over time, because you have to stack all these different softwares. And now you're paying close to $300 a month on all these softwares, which is $3,600 a year, just because you built from element to element, as opposed to looking at the big picture from the start. So now I'm going to come back to what I just talked about at the end, and I'm going to show you how you can drastically reduce making that error from starting with a website, then integrating Calendar, and how you can do that all in one. And James mentioned it with Go High Level. They have a great base, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you can do on there. But now I'm going to come back to how you can actually build, your business and automate a lot of the repetitive actions. Everything that I'll be telling you today, you can do on Go High Level. You can also do it on a bunch of different platforms. So I can't tell you exactly how to do it. I can tell you what to do, because it really depends on where you're doing it. But I just want to give you some examples of how you can really take a step back from doing a lot of the repetitive actions and set things up the right way. So before we go into actually those steps, I wanted to put up some questions that you should be asking yourself that should give you a good idea of if you are able to grow your business seamlessly without absolutely like piling on the work that you give yourself. So the first one's going to be, do I have the right systems in place to handle an influx of leads without significantly increasing my workload? So if you start growing your business and you start bringing people in, can your system handle bringing those new people in? If you're sending all your emails manually, or you're setting up all your freebies manually, and every bit of communication, calendar setting is done manually, your workload drastically increases when you start bringing in people. And that's going to really overwhelm you, and it's going to also demoralize you from continuing to grow. Second question is, can my current technology stack, so your website, email marketing, coaching platforms, scale with your business? And this kind of goes back to what I'm talking about, those softwares that you need to incorporate into your business, but do they have limitations? A lot of these softwares will say, here's, you get 1,000 contacts, but then you have to pay more money if you want more. Can you scale with the softwares that you have in place such that when you start growing, you're not incurring more costs or more technology on top of it? Do I have a solid plan for my content and marketing that can grow or change without putting too much pressure on my resources? So if you start doing something like running Facebook ads or running Google ads and you start bringing people in, can your system handle bringing those people in, providing them with an authentic and trustworthy piece of personalized content without having to overwhelm your side of the business? And then lastly, is my current offering structured in a way that allows for growth without compromising quality or personalization? Like I said, you want to be able to grow and you want to be able to provide the same consistency and personalization to everyone, whether it's a lead or a client, no matter how many people come on. And if you're answering no to any of these questions, you should take a step back and say, how can I build my business such that if I 10 times the amount of people I was bringing on right now, would my company be able to keep up with it? Because if you build your business knowing that you can handle 10 clients, you're putting yourself in a box, which is essentially saying, I don't have the belief that I can go to 100 clients. But if you build your system from the start that enables you to grow, you'll first give yourself so much more time to build the things that help you grow, but you will also have so much more belief that you can do it because you have these systems in place, and it will seriously save you a ton of time. So now I'll go through the customer path and I'll show you how you can implement kind of automation through each of these steps such that you're not wasting times on repetitive actions. And we'll be talking about this through what are called like workflows. So they're going to be like automations, and I'll tell you exactly how those, would work in this kind of flow of a customer. So typically, if you have someone come in, it's either through like a contact form or a lead magnet. But the first thing you're going to do, or the first, part is someone has signed up for a form. And this is going to be an automation workflow. So if someone's signed up for a form, you need actions to happen automatically that follow up after that trigger has been initiated. If you're sending, welcome emails or welcome texts to people that have signed up for your freebie manually, imagine if you start running a Facebook ad where, you bring in 500 people in a month. Are you sending all those emails out yourself? Are you providing the freebie yourself? Are you like sending that email? Are you following up with people and saying, did you enjoy it? Do you want to schedule a call? So it's really important that when you do any kind of freebie or contact form's a little bit different because they might have a question, so you'll be answering the question. But for any kind of sign up form, you should make sure that the actions that follow are automated. And just because they're automated, it doesn't mean that they're not personal. So you can have your action, which is to initiate a welcome communication. So thank you for signing up. I hope you get value from this. Call to action. You can also book a call with me here, and then you give them the freebie. You give them their lead magnet, and then you can wait for a certain amount of time, and then you can, send them up a text that says, I just wanted to reach out to you personally. Or if you don't want to lie and say it's not too personal, you say, I just wanted to reach out and see if you enjoyed it. And then you can do like James said, you can even follow up with a ringless voicemail, and you can leave them a voicemail that's recorded once, but it sounds personal and it says, hey, I'm really glad you signed up for my freebie. I would love to, get on a call with you and talk to you about this. And I'm going to go back to this picture here, which is what we've done is we've taken a task that has so many manual operations and so many, you have to send an email, you have to follow up, and you don't have to do a single thing. You have not touched anyone to the point where they've gone from signing up for a form for a freebie all the way to the point where they are thinking about booking a call or they're on your nurture list. So the second thing in that life cycle is going to be you're going to nurture and communicate with that person. So let's say they have signed up for your lead magnet. You should not be following up with that person unless they had specific questions, unless they respond. The follow-up should be automated. They should be getting their sequence of emails based on the freebie that they signed up for, which says, hey, it's been 3 days, here's a call to action, or here's another free thing, or here's more value. And then you can wait a certain amount of time. And you can send them a text that says, hey, I'm hosting this webinar, or I found this cool information I think you'd find of value. And you keep doing that and you add them to the sequence. But the problem is when you start doing these things manually, you start letting people fall through the cracks. Because if you think about it and you start, bringing in more and more leads, you're never going to be able to give people this personalized and optimal follow-up sequence if you're doing it just manually. And again, the whole point of this is we're trying to save time and we're trying to stop those annoying tasks, and we're trying to build something that helps us, relax and actually build our business and grow. The third thing, and if you take anything from this presentation, this is going to be the one thing. If you do not have an automation sequence set up for when someone books in your calendar, this is the biggest thing out of this whole presentation, that please put it into your business. When someone books a call with you, it needs to be automatic. Because what are you going to do? Remind someone an hour, 2 hours, a day before their meeting that they have a meeting with you? That stuff should be automated, because when you don't follow up with people, when you don't let people know that they're about to have a meeting with you, the amount of no-shows just absolutely spikes. And I've been in meetings where people haven't showed up. I know a lot of people who've been in meetings where they haven't showed up. And just by switching from a place where you're having a meeting that you just, you're setting up a Zoom link and giving it to them, versus when you have a follow-up sequence, which involves both texts and emails, you will drastically see an increase in the amount of people that show up to your meetings. And then to go with this, you can even set up things like, did the person not show up? Send them an automated follow-up after that. And again, we're just trying to save time and get you to a place where you don't have to worry about all these things. So what's the next thing? You've had a sales call, they've booked with you, and then you want to do, you've sold your service and you want to invoice someone. You can make this automated as well. I'm not going to go through all the details with it, but I just want to give you the point that a lot of the things that you may be doing manually that you think has to be done manually can be done automatically and can save you a ton of time. Something like if someone hasn't paid an invoice yet, you shouldn't be following up with people yourself. That should be automated. If someone hasn't paid an invoice, just it's automated, and it will save you so much time in the long run. And when you start building up and building more clients, this kind of stuff you will really be thankful for once it's built up. Service fulfillment is going to be where you want to spend 99% of your time actually doing the work. If you're spending, half of your time in the, lead acquisition or communicating with leads before they've actually even purchased, you're spending way too much time not on the actual fulfillment, and you're wasting a lot of it. So this is why, you want to spend 99% of your time in the actual service fulfillment and not in the build up to it. And, sending out all these emails, setting up booking appointments, sending up reminders. But you can even incorporate, automation into when you're fulfilling your service. So instead of sending emails that go along with the service that you're providing, you can do things like set up automations that will give them, the material, or will let them book links as you go along. And then the last one, and James talked about it a little bit, but sending review requests. Everyone hates sending Google review requests because it sounds sleazy. It sounds like, hey, can you do a Google review for me? And no one wants to do it. Everyone hates doing it, but you can automate it such that when someone has gotten to the end of their cycle and they've or even when they're in the middle of working with you, you can just make it automatic and just, it's an automated personal text or email that says something like, hey, I hope you've enjoyed our service. Would you mind leaving a review on Google? And it sends them a link to your Google review. You don't have to, they don't have to go find you on Google. They don't have to do any of that. It will just send it automatically. So now you've taken something like this where you have your path from, you know, a lead magnet all the way to offboarding, and you've completely changed the way you set up your system to handle people coming through there. And you've saved yourself a ton of time to do that. And you can actually spend so much more time on, you know, content creation, on actually fulfilling your service, on making your service better, on taking sales calls. And I promise you, this is an absolute life changer. And like I said before, when you go to when you come back to here and say, how do we actually build this infrastructure? You have to consider all these things from the start. Don't let yourself grow and then get to the point where you're like, okay, I should really automate this stuff. Do it from the start, because it also goes with your mentality too. It's like, I believe I can do this, therefore I have it in place, and you know, that's how it's set up, and it's perfect. Does anyone have any questions before I move on anything that I talked about, anything to do with the life cycle, how you can implement automation into your system?
I wanted to just echo what you said, Isaac. I mean, I grew very quickly, and then I'm using all these spreadsheets with people's names, and I did a sort wrong one day, and it basically destroyed the spreadsheet because all the names were off, the names of the emails, the phone numbers were all off. So there went my list. So like Isaac says, plan to be wildly successful, because if you don't, then it's, in my opinion, it's self-sabotage, and you won't be. Plan to be successful, wildly successful. No, you don't need to buy a $10,000 XYZ, but get something that works and works well. And you can find Isaac's stuff very robust, very good pricing, and extremely effective, saving you money and stress. Like myself, that's why I hired Isaac. That's why I'm working with him. But also allows me to help a lot more people as well, and have a lot more fun, and not manually texting people and inviting them to my events, or manually checking in with people. I can send a blast. Hey, you know, you were interested in this. By the way, him and I are going to do this. By the way, you were interested in my course. I haven't talked in a while. I'd love to jump on a call with you, et cetera, et cetera. So please learn from some of my failures, and do it right from the start. Again, it doesn't have to cost you a fortune, but do it right from the start. That way you will grow quick, and you're not going to have things slip through the crack and lose customers, or haven't been piss people off by not doing it the right way.
Yeah, awesome. I just saw a question from Jeanette in the chat. Do you typically see business owners doing this on their own, or learning CRMs and automating these 6 steps? So the reason I am so passionate about talking to new coaches, especially with respect to this, is because I do see a lot of people doing it the way I kind of said before, doing it manually. So they're doing all these steps manually. And it's funny, because the reason I got into this was because my mom became a certified coach, and I saw what she was doing, and she was writing down the leads that she had, pen and paper, so she could email them one by one. And I said to them, I was like, what are you doing? Like, this is 2023 or 2024, and you're writing down your leads on pen and paper emails so you can follow up with them. How do you expect to possibly grow, especially if you're thinking about a conversion of you know, 0.5% or 1% of your leads, or if you're good, you know, higher? How could you possibly manage all those people if you're sending emails by hand and writing them down on your pen and paper? So I do see a lot of people, like, if I go back to this here, I see a lot of people that will get their website, get their calendar, get the email marketing, but then realize that it needs to be automated. And it's a lot harder to automate your sequences when you have 5 different softwares, compared to when you do it all from the start. You have it built. You work hard at the start to, you know, it's delayed gratification, right? You do the hard work at the start, such that in the future you are saving yourself a ton of time. And if you do have the belief that your business will grow, which I hope you do, because you're here, you want to learn more, you want to grow your business, I promise you, whether you want to work with me, whether you don't want to work with me, like, I don't care. I mean, I obviously care, but I want you to learn that it's super important that you do this from the start, because it will absolutely change your life. So yeah, a lot of people will do it manually at the start and then realize if they start growing that they have to completely restructure, which again, like I said, please don't let yourself do that. It's not worth it. And, you know, at a time when you're busy, the last thing you want to be doing is restructuring your whole business. Do it from the start, do it right. And then when you grow, it is so much more fun. Okay, so now on to the bonus that I was talking about, which is qualifying reviews using AI. It's very cool, especially since James brought up the Google reviews thing, because this is exactly what I'm going to be talking about. And I'm going to show you a little bit of a demo that I recorded on my phone. So this is going to be from the user's experience, and I'm going to show you something you can do to qualify someone before they even set up a review. So instead of just sending someone hey, do you want to review me on Google? How can you actually qualify them such that if maybe they aren't so happy with the service or they have some feedback, you can pre-qualify their answers such that if they aren't willing to give a 5 stars, or it doesn't look like they're going to give 5 stars, you can say, okay, I appreciate your feedback and we've taken that into consideration, but maybe don't send them a Google review, because you don't want 4 stars in your Google reviews. You want 5 stars, and you want your rating to be as high as possible. So I'm going to show you what that looks like here. So this is going to be an automated text sequence that happens. There's no intervention other than from the user's side, but this is kind of what it's going to be look like. So I'm pretending this is my business, and it says, "Hi Isaac, it's been a pleasure to work with you. Do you mind if I ask you some questions to gauge your experience with us?" And I'm just going to text back and say, "Sure." And then it will automatically respond back, and it will say, "Great, in a sentence or two, what did you think about our service?" So it's trying to gauge, what was your experience with us? Did you, was there anything you liked? And in this, I'm just saying the service from InMotion was great. Of course it was. And then, Isaac helped me set up an AI bot. That would qualify my reviews. And now I don't even need to bother people with getting 5 stars on Google. That's how this is set up. So this is basically just talking about what I'm teaching you right now. But you'll see this, I'll send this message, and the bot will take this, and it will ask another question. So it'll say, well, would you say that our service is good value for money? I'm just going to click yeah. And this doesn't even require actual like yes or no. You can answer yeah, you can answer sure, you can answer, yeah, somewhat. And then you say, would you recommend our service to other people? I said yes. And then I said, now this is the question that will qualify people. So it will say on a scale of 1 to 10, because that's 1 to 5, because that's how Google reviews work. How would you rate your overall experience with us? So now if I return with a 5, it prompts the AI bot, and it will say, it will say it would mean so much was if you would review us on Google so we can continue to grow and provide, you with the best service. But it doesn't just stop there. It will actually take it a step further and say, we even put together a comment based on your answers so that you can literally copy and paste it to Google reviews. So then it actually comes up with a comment just to stop any kind of friction, to stop any kind of restriction on people doing it. And it will say, I had a fantastic experience with InMotion. Isaac was incredibly helpful in setting up an AI bot for me that has really helped qualify my reviews. The service was top notch and definitely worth the money. I would highly recommend InMotion to others looking for a similar service. And then it's as simple as copying that and literally just going to the link, which will take you straight to the Google review. Now, if you do this with every single person that comes through, imagine how different that would be if you did it this way versus if you texted someone and say, do you mind leaving me a Google review? Because there's so much friction there. Someone has to look you up on Google. They have to find you on Google. They have to then, say, okay, what should my message be? This way, you are giving everyone, it's making it so easy for someone to respond and to set it up such that when it gets to the point where you've given them their comment and you've given them a link, how many people at that point are not gonna just, you know, copy and paste it unless they don't have a Google account? So now I'm going to come back to what I talked about at the start, which was, you know, if you build your system the wrong way, you're going to be spending $300 a month and you're going to have a very disconnected system, which is where I come in and which is where Go High Level comes in, because they offer a really, really awesome platform that lets you do everything that I've talked about in this video on Go High Level for a super affordable price. It's $97 a month or $970 a year if you pay yearly. And that includes all the automations that I talked about today. It can do all of that. It can do the AI bot review that I just showed you here with ease. It's very easy to set up. It may seem like, you know, there's a lot of, you know, you need to be very tech savvy to be able to do it. There's a learning curve with everything, which is why it's super important that you do this from the start and not let yourself have, you know, 5 different systems before you say, okay, crap, I need to now bring in a proper CRM management system. But this is where my business comes in, which is called InMotion, which is built off the Go High Level application. And the reason I've built this is because I want to, one, provide this service to people, but I want to add to it. So I provide the Go High Level base. It's the same price. But what I add to it is specific features that help people and specifically coaches grow their businesses. So just to give you a bit of a demo, share with my sound. So this is a bit of a video that just gives you an explainer. This is how Go High Level works, but this is my version of it. And this is just a, you know, a 1.5-minute video that tells you everything you can do in here. I touched on a few of them, but this will give you a good idea.
And a funnel or landing page builder with built-in A/B testing and web forms. Oh, and surveys too. Not to mention built on the powerful
Isaac, we're not seeing a video.
fast
FYI.
speed.
Did I share the wrong screen?
Yeah, we just see post attendee Zoom.
Okay. You see my cursor?
Yes, looks a video. Yep.
Okay, thank you, thank you. It would have been a shame if I'd gone all the way to the end.
Meet InMotion, the most powerful drag and drop website builder. And a funnel or landing page builder with built-in A/B testing and web forms. Oh, and surveys too. Not to mention built on the powerful Google Cloud ecosystem for fast speeds. But wait, that's not all. We also have tons of other features that can literally replace 15 or more of your software subscriptions with just InMotion. Drag and drop email builder, check. SMS marketing with drip campaigns, check. Reputation management, check. Two-way text messaging, just like a cell phone with pictures as well. A unified conversations inbox for email, SMS, social media integration like Facebook Messenger, Instagram DMs, Google Business Profile chat, website chat widget, all in one single unified conversations inbox. Isn't that awesome? Well, we've got a lot more. Text to pay, unlimited calendars, appointment meeting reminders, automatic review requests, powerful and fully customizable workflow automations engine allowing you to set up almost any rules to automate almost anything. Ringless voicemail drops, opportunities pipelines, analytics dashboard, reporting, automated calls, call recording, phone dialer, missed call text back. But that's still not all. The list keeps on going. InMotion is truly the ultimate all-in-one sales and marketing CRM built just for coaching businesses like yours. InMotion. Automate your coaching business. Meet InMotion.
So that video should give you a good understanding of the overall applications of the platform. And I know a lot of it might be overwhelming. It might be like, this is so much information to take in, but I want you to focus on the base, which is going to be these 5 things that I was talking about. You have your website, your calendar, your email marketing, your social media management. And when I talk about social media management, and I know this, I had this question from the start, and I'm glad I had it, was you can, in our platform, you can set up a post and post it to your Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook in one go without having to set them up for each individual platform. What you can also do is you can schedule your social media posts. So if you wanted to spend 3 hours putting some posts together, you put them together, you build them, you put them in the platform, and you can say, okay, I want them to send out 1 week apart. The amount of time you're going to save just in like little increments by just doing it in bulk and setting those up is incredible. I've done it for my business too. I spent an afternoon doing it, and those will go on for 5 months. It's an absolute game changer, especially if you're trying to keep up with your social media. You'll send the same posts to each of your social media accounts with creating one post. So it's an absolutely awesome feature. And then just to add on, just for anyone in this workshop who is interested or who wants to work with me or is looking at Go High Level, I'm also happy to answer any questions about Go High Level. But for me specifically, I am offering this to people who are actually here today or watching the recording. I am giving a massive discount just because I really like helping people and I want to bring people on. Is I'm offering the service that Go High Level provides plus 2 1-hour phone Zoom calls. That's going to be an onboarding and a training call where they'll literally onboard you, connect you, get you all set up, and do a training session with you. That's completely free. Plus one of the custom built review qualifiers. So the review qualifier for Google reviews that I showed you at a demo of today, I will actually go in and custom build one for your business so you can start using it. And then also to add on to all of that, a small business snapshot. So a snapshot is essentially a template that you can put into Go High Level, which has a lot of the automations that I talked about earlier. So the automations for your calendar booking, for your lead magnets, for sending follow-ups. It includes a lot of those, and also includes a lot of templates for websites, emails, and funnels, such like that. And if you use the code DREAMWORK, you'll get this bundle, and it gives you that $200 off the training and onboarding call. So it's a massive deal that I'm trying to do, and I really want to be able to provide you guys with some awesome and truth-filled content here, because there is Go High Level, and Go High Level is awesome. And if you want to just go High Level, go for it too. But I promise you, at some point, you need a system like this in place. And it would be awesome if you wanted to work with me, because I can actually provide add-ons to Go High Level, which will drastically improve your experience with the platform. But at some point, you do need to think, where can I find this all in one platform? And I do think Go High Level does it best, which is why I built my business around it. And as you can see, I have my information on the screen. There's my website, there's my email, and there's my phone if you want to send me a text, if you want to take a picture of this. I'll also put it in the chat. Yeah, if anyone has any questions before that, or if anyone has any questions about the platform, for sure, feel free to let me know now. Feel free to text me here. Even if you have any questions about setting up automations for your business or what you can automate and it's got nothing to do with this, also feel free to text me, because I also just want to help people build their business, and I don't mind, just being helpful anyway. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to text me for sure. But that concludes my portion, and thank you for your time.
Cool. Any questions? Going. Any questions for Isaac? No question too small or too anything? Cool. Anyone? Going once, going twice? All right. I will put the persuasion playbook back up there as well in the link there. You have access to the document I was showing today. Excuse me. This is how to access.
Someone had a question.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
I have a quick question. My name is Colette Isaac. I was looking at the course content you had in the column. So if you already have your content, like I have a webinar that I had already recorded, could that be dropped in one of those or integrated in one of the columns that you have? I think I took a picture of it. I think you had something called, hold on. I guess what I'm trying to ask is, could my content already be implemented into that? If I already have it, or do you have to make the content from scratch?
What kind of content is it?
It's actually like a 3-day webinar regarding value and self-esteem, self-worth, but it's a 3-day webinar pretty much. It's
Yeah, so
pre-recorded,
you can
so the person can
host.
go up there.
Yeah, so you can host courses which can have videos within them, or you can just host videos on web pages. Or what you can do is have a, if you want to have a webinar styled, course structure, you can just, if you have the videos already, you can just bring them in, you can apply them to the courses, and it's just videos. It has this... Yep.
Oh my God. Can you add classes, courses in? Yes, because I want to be able to start teaching basic astrology for the small group of 35 people that I have that follow me with the moon and the full moon, like today with the full moon in Virgo.
Yeah, so you can set up courses and memberships and groups, and they're also white labeled to your business. So when you have your domain, and this is what you'd get with the onboarding call, they set up your domain, you connect it, and it will look like it's your course structure, which is awesome. I have your logo, have your color scheme, and then even on the mobile app, it looks super clean. It looks awesome.
And that's probably what I need help with, because I started to work with Wix, and I'm out of the game of doing websites from way back, 20 years ago when I was so into it and so complex, and there's so much stuff and there's so many things that are there, like you said, that are automated to understand how to send it all out. I'm probably going to need some help with that.
For sure.
Definitely.
For sure. And there's a ton of resources that help you do it online. I do offer different services based on, helping people set things up. I also have people that can help me help people set things up. So that's definitely an option. But for sure, based on what you're talking about, I think this is a great option because, you have things like Kajabi and stuff like that, but they just cost too much and they don't do everything. They do do certain things well, but if you're looking for more of a total, everything in one, I want my courses
package. Yeah.
But for
and
sure,
I also want to say thank you to you and Jane for coming on and giving us this information. It's much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Very welcome. Very welcome. Happy to. We both want people to be wild successful, especially coaches and people, entrepreneurs who want to make a difference in the world. That's why Isaac does some really cool things about technology, and that's why I do some really cool things about sales, influence, persuasion, confidently communicating and articulating your value powerfully, being a better speaker, communicator, and just getting past a lot of the blocks that hold entrepreneurs back. So between Isaac and I, we're powerhouses of what, Isaac? Of success, I suppose, or of assistance. And Isaac is there as well. I am unleashyourpower.com as well. Feel free to download my the little persuasion playbook. Hope you find that interesting. Any last questions before we go for the day?
I just went to the website, and so I'm wondering what's the difference between your two plans, the professional and.
Well, I think
go ahead, Isaac.
One is monthly and one is yearly.
There you go.
Got it.
But if you, I guess if you go with the yearly, you save 2 months, and then I guess you get an add-on because what you save with this code right here is $197. So the training call, if you book yearly, is $97. So you get an extra $100 off if you also go for the yearly. But that's the difference.
Okay.
Cool. Cool. Any last question? We have time for one more. Janelle.
Hi guys, thank you so much for your presentations today.
Pleasure.
And it was very great information. My question is regarding the website. So if you already have your hosting with the company, can we still work with you? Or do we need to like move hosting with our websites?
Do you mean if you're already hosted with Go High Level or a different website?
So is Go High Level hosting, or because I'm already hosting with Name Hero package? So would I want to cancel my current hosting company to go with Go High Level?
Wait, so let me just confirm. Do you have like, is your domain hosted somewhere, or do you actually have a website built already?
Right, my domain's hosted somewhere, and I'm using Optimized Press to build websites.
Okay, so you just need the domain. You don't actually host the domain on Go High Level. So you have your domain, which when you do an onboarding call, they'll bring over your domain into Go High Level so you can start building things on there. If you do already have a website, you can still have your website and build things on here, but I would recommend doing it all together just because it is easier. It depends how far along down you are with your website. But if you just have the domain, you don't actually get your domain on Go High Level. You just get it somewhere else, like GoDaddy or wherever you have it, and then you bring it onto the platform.
Right. So I do have my, domains, through Namecheap, but then my hosting's through a different company. So I think you answered my question, because I'm trying to understand, is Go High Level a hosting, or is it a software that's
It's a
independent?
software that will host your websites. Yeah.
Okay, so it is hosting. Okay, great.
Yeah, it will
Then,
host your website. Yeah.
okay, great. Because then now, because I'm in the influx of hosting and a hosting company and stuff like that. So it sounds like, you answered my question, that I just need to, stop what I'm doing and just put it in Go High Level, and then have Go High Level create everything I need to create.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or within
thanks so
Motion.
much.
Or do it within Motion.
Right. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Cool. Excellent. Excellent. This has been a slice, everyone. Thanks for letting us do what we love. Great questions, everyone, as well. And again, want to learn more about us, of course, unleashyourpower.com or in-motion-media. Is it dash or hyphen? Anyways, .com. And your questions, let us know. Here's to your wild success. We'd love to both be of service. So chat with us if you need anything else. Isaac at in-motion-media.com or James at unleashyourpower.com. If you really want to take your business and your own ability to enroll people, convert people to a whole new level, because you need both pillars. You need both tiers, the technology that keeps the leads and let things prevent from falling through the cracks. And then you need the ability to confidently and powerfully enroll people into your stuff, see why you're different, have a powerful message so that they'll say, yes, that sounds good, versus, well, let me think about it, but that's a lot of money, or that sounds expensive, and to be able to attract different people as well with what we do. So talk to myself, talk to Isaac, and to everyone, once again, to your wild success. Go have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Take care. Bye, everybody. See you.